You cannot expect to achieve new results without new information. And so many times we keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That just doesn't make any sense. If you want a new result, what you've got to do is you've got to get some new information that can change your life. So identify the old, but then I start to plant the new. If you want to be a better leader, then you got to make sure you get around people who are planting new leadership seeds in you. If you want to be a better entrepreneur, then you got to get around people who are planting new entrepreneurship seeds in you to help you get where you need to go. If you want to be a better video editor, then you got to get around the new. I'll tell you what, it's not so much about trying to lessen all of the old. Sure, that will happen, but it will only happen organically as you plant more of the new. Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us here today. But we're going to talk about the difference between safety and comfort. Now, of course, over the last little while, we've spent quite a bit of time talking about the neuroscience of change. And we've really been spending a lot of time looking at this idea of creating a brain-based, safe environment for people. And, all of that is good. And if you missed those episodes, then please do tune in and check them out because I think they're game changers. But I will say this, when we talk about safety, it's so important that we help people to also see that we're not, capital N-O-T, talking about comfort. There is a massive difference between you being safe and feeling safe and you being comfortable and feeling comfortable. And the reason I point this out is that so many times people today confuse safety and comfort. What's the difference? Well, I can promise you this, that nothing magical or amazing happens in your life when you are trapped inside the comfort zone. If you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to adapt, if you want to expand, if you want to become, then you need to get out of your comfort zone. But there's something about all of us that loves to be comfortable. There's something about all of us that doesn't want to be held accountable, that doesn't want to be challenged, that doesn't want someone to push us higher. What is really, really bad about that is in the context of an organization, it's actually the job of the leaders to take us higher, to push us for more, to inspire us and motivate us and shift us so that the organization can have consistently higher outcomes that will be produced by the people who are in those organizations. And so listen, the organization, be it you're working for a nonprofit or for a for-profit or for government, they should not want you to just be comfortable all the time. Why? Because if you're comfortable, what ends up happening is you might not be producing at your best. And so there is a massive difference between safety and comfort. And one of the things I've discovered is that the magic always happens outside the comfort zone. I mean, think about the times when you have grown the most. Think about the times when you have accomplished the most. Think about the times when you have become even more awesome than you already are. I can guarantee you it didn't happen when you were in a place of comfort, but you needed to feel safe. And the best example I can give of this is, the time I went skydiving, and I'd love to do that again. Still trying to find some time where I can actually go. It was one of the best experiences of my life. I'll tell you what, did I feel comfortable? You better believe I didn't. But did I feel safe? Absolutely. And that safety allowed me to push my own boundaries. And so speaking to you as a team lead or an organizational leader, maybe you're a CEO, maybe you're running your startup, maybe you're running your nonprofit or one of the leadership members in any of those organizations, how do you help people to step out of comfort and into a place of safety? Well, let me tell you, friends, that this has everything to do with mindset. Okay, so I want you to imagine you have this thing that you will call a mindset continuum. And on the one side, you have a fixed mindset. And then on the other side, you have you could be called a growth mindset. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what Carol Dweck called it. Over here was a fixed mindset. Over here is a growth mindset. Now, a fixed mindset, when you have a fixed mindset, what you actually believe is that all of my qualities, my intelligence, my character, my abilities, all of those things are unchangeable. They're fixed and I just can't change them. I am who I am. But on the other side, you have a growth mindset. And in the growth mindset, it's like, oh my goodness, I can actually change in any area that I set my mind to. It's literally called a growth mindset because growing is the whole process that is underpinning all of that. And so a person with a growth mindset believes that they can change, they can adapt, they can move forward. And so they see challenges and obstacles not as this, oh my God moment, what am I going to do? But they actually see challenges and obstacles as an opportunity to grow. But when somebody is in a comfort-based mindset, a fixed mindset, what ends up happening is challenges and obstacles and adversity become things that crush their spirit. And you can have two people go through the exact same thing. And yet if that one guy has the fixed mindset and the one girl has the growth mindset, I can promise you the girl with the growth mindset is going to outperform the one with the fixed mindset every day of the week. And so there's a big difference, friends, between safety and comfort, just like there's a massive difference between a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So here is the question: how can we change our mindset? Listen, stop trying to change all the situations. Stop trying to change all the circumstances. You need to do that too, but start by looking at how you can change your mindset. Because if you can change your mindset, you can change your life. Where the mind goes, the man follows. And so if you're just trying to change your life without changing your mindset, the change that you create in your life will not be sustainable. You'll get to that place and you'll wreck it because you don't have the mindset to support it. And so as an organizational leader, not only do I need to shift my own mindset, but I need to help my team members to shift their mindset as well. So let me give you 4 essential steps to shifting a mindset. I'll tell you what, this is absolute brilliant gold that will change your life. The first thing that you got to do if you want to shift your mindset is you have to identify the old mindset. In other words, what is the old mindset that you have and where do you think that mindset maybe came from? You have a fixed mindset. Maybe that mindset was something that was downloaded to you by the people in your life. Maybe that mindset was maybe the culture that you were part of, or maybe even the religious, undertones or underpinnings that sort of were all around the environment that you were raised in. I mean, listen, some of your upbringing was awesome and should be celebrated. The environment that you were raised has produced who you are. But I also think we need to have the nuance and the maturity, frankly, to be able to look at the parts of our background that may have not served us very well. In other words, they're not empowering us. They're not supporting us. They're not helping us to push higher and to elevate and to become more. So the first step to have a mindset shift is you've got to identify what is the old mindset, the toxic, the stuff that might be holding me back. The second thing that you've got to do is you've got to start planting the new. Okay, you've got to start to plant the new. What's the new mindset that you want to plant? And so how do you plant the new? Well, I'll tell you what, you have to get around resources that is new. I'll tell you, you cannot expect to achieve new results without new information. And so many times we keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That just doesn't make any sense. If you want a new result, what you've got to do is you've got to get some new information that can change your life. So identify the old, but then I start to plant the new. If you want to be a better leader, then you got to make sure you get around people who are planting new leadership seeds in you. If you want to be a better entrepreneur, then you got to get around people who are planting new entrepreneurship seeds in you to help you get where you need to go. If you want to be a better video editor, then you got to get around the new. I'll tell you what, it's not so much about trying to lessen all of the old. Sure, that will happen, but it will only happen organically as you plant more of the new. Now, after you've planted the new, let me tell you, friends, you've got to nourish the new. Interestingly, no matter all the advances that we've made in neuroscience and in AI and in learning and education and in personal development, there is no better way to learn or grow, according to all the science, than the power of repetition. You've all heard the 10,000 hour rule. And the 10,000 hour rule is really simple. If you're going to become expert, if you're going to become exceptional, if you're going to become awesome at anything, you got to put 10,000 hours into it. What's the power behind 10,000 hours? Is it like this magical number? No. It's that there's this repetitious process that you begin maybe very weak. Maybe the first 1,000 hours, you're not so good. But then after you hit 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 hours, all of a sudden that competency and the confidence that comes just begins to absolutely explode within you. Why? Because now you're truly an expert. You're not a fake expert. You're not somebody who listened to a podcast and then thinks you have it all figured out, but you put hours and hours and hours into something that has absolutely transformed your life. And so identify the old, plant the new, but then nourish the new. And then the fourth thing, and this one here, I think you're going to really like, is affirm the new mindset with healthy people. Why are we expecting over-the-top results when we surround ourselves with toxic people? I hate to sound like the bad guy, but that's just not logical. If I want to have healthy results in my life, I've got to get around healthy people. Now, there are actually healthy people all around you. And somebody says, well, I don't know about that. There's all kinds of healthy people around you. But what you might have to do is start saying no to the unhealthy people, and you might start weeding them out. And let me give you an example of this. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a friend and, she was like freaking out. She's like, I just can't believe how negative my social media feed is, right? I'm sorry, but I am that friend who sometimes kind of calls BS. And I'm like, you can't believe how negative your social media feed is. And I said, can you explain that to me? And she said, well, there's just so much negativity and all this stuff. I'm like, do you know that the algorithm is only spoon feeding back to you what you've already told the algorithm you want? And so have you ever, maybe you need to unfollow some people. Maybe you need to unfriend some people. Maybe you need to stop getting on to every forum with some conspiracy theory group and commenting on it and liking it and sharing it and reposting it. Because as long as you do that, of course, the algorithm's going to spoon feed all that stuff back to you. How about you start clicking on my page where it's 24/7 positivity? How about you start clicking on all kinds of other coaches' pages out there or speakers or those who inspire you or those who call you higher? And if you start doing that and then unfollow all the bad people, guess what? You're going to go through your social media and it's going to be beautiful. Can I just say this? And I know this isn't politically popular to say, but I'll just step out and say it. The problem isn't social media. Social media only amplifies what's happening in your life. Now, I think it's cheap and it's simplistic to say the problem is social media when the algorithms literally just give you what you want. And so when you think about it, I need to take responsibility of it. Social media can be an absolute game changer on the positive side, in the positive way, but I have to take ownership. I got to stop following and liking and supporting all the stuff that's toxic, and I got to get around some healthy people. Now, take that concept, whether you agree with me or not on the social media thing is actually not really that important to me because that's fine. We all have our views, but let me say this. You and I both know that if I'm trying to build a hyper-productive, hyper-fruitful life, but I'm surrounded by toxic people, it is literally never going to happen. And so, my encouragement to you here today is to recognize that a mindset shift is definitely your destiny. You deserve a mindset shift. And if you can have a mindset shift, then you will move out of comfort and into safety every day of the week. But the only way that mindset shift happens is if you identify the old, if you plant the new, if you nourish the new, and then if you affirm it with healthy people. And as you do that, then you're going to step out of comfort and that sort of addiction to comfort that we all have, and you're going to step into a place of safety. So listen to me, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll tell you what, if you're an organizational leader, if you're a team lead, or if you're managing in any environment, can I just encourage you to click on the link below and tune in for us, a discovery call with one of our team members. We have worked with Fortune 500 companies. We've worked with small and medium-sized businesses. We've worked with First Nations. We've worked with government. We've worked with nonprofits all over North America. And we would love to work with you. Would you hop on a call? Because a lot of the principles that we talk about when it comes to creating a healthy environment helping people to understand the difference between comfort and safety, and helping you as a leader to create that brain-friendly environment is material and information and support that we can offer you. Tell you what, you got to run your business. You can't do everything. And so let us come alongside of you and help. Thanks so much for tuning in. And hey, would you do me a favor? Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and please do issue a positive comment below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in our next video.